World-famous tech icon Elon Musk happens to be the richest man in the history of the world. He is also arguably the world's most influential man today, a visionary who conjures up plans that are literally and figuratively out of this world. He wants the human race to become a multi-planet species and has founded his company SpaceX, of which he is CEO and chief engineer, to bring this very dream to fruition. But what is his logic behind this? What is his real reason for wanting to send humanity to the red planet? Why is he so dead set on his Martian mission? First of all, what is a multi-planet or interplanetary species? As opposed to a single planet species, a multi-planet or interplanetary species means that we're not solely dependent on a single home planet, but rather on multiple planets or worlds. In this way, if any doomsday catastrophe were to occur, we would be able to preserve the human race. And while the chances of everyone in the world dying does sound like it's part of the plot of some sci-fi novel, Elon Musk does seem quite certain of this impending doom that he spends his time, along with millions of dollars per mission, to make us multi-planetary. While fellow billionaires Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson were on the first flights of their own space companies carrying civilians, it was noted that Elon Musk wasn't on his. And in an interview with American journalist Kara Swisher at the 2021 Code Conference, he revealed that he does not have plans of going to space anytime soon either. He said, "I suppose I will at some point, but my goal is not to send myself. My goal is to open up space for humanity and ultimately set us on a path to becoming a spacefaring civilization and a multi-planet species." Musk also gave credit to both Branson and Bezos for spending money on space advancements. He also said, "Ultimately, I think we all want to. Humanity wants to be, should want to be a spacefaring civilization and want to be out there among the stars." When asked to describe his space plans, he told Swisher that his vision included establishing a self-sustaining city on Mars and a base on the moon for those who want to go there. Musk also did mention that he wanted to live out scenes depicted in science fiction movies about space and the universe. With the time, energy, and money that he dedicates to this cause, there is no doubt that Musk is not just a supporter, but an advocate of the interplanetary human theory. But why does Musk want to take us to the red planet Mars? Elon Musk is actually quite open about his agenda and his obsession with the red planet. On the SpaceX website, it is explained that at an average distance of 140 million miles, Mars is one of the Earth's closest habitable neighbors. Mars is about half again as far from the Sun as Earth is, so it still has decent sunlight. It's a little cold, but we can warm it up. Its atmosphere is primarily carbon dioxide with some nitrogen and argon, and a few other trace elements, which means that we can grow plants on Mars just by compressing the atmosphere. Gravity on Mars is also about 38% of that of Earth, so you would be able to lift heavy things and bound around. Furthermore, the day is remarkably close to that of the Earth. In 2016, NASA representatives claimed in a written statement that the idea of making the surface of Mars habitable in the near future is not realistic. Science fiction writers have long featured terraforming, or the process of creating an Earth-like or habitable environment on another planet, in their stories. Scientists themselves have proposed terraforming to enable the long-term colonization of Mars, and that transforming the inhospitable Martian environment into a place that astronauts could explore without life support is not possible without technology that's well beyond today's capabilities. And people have also been questioning, why only Mars? And in Musk's words during his presentation at the 2016 International Astronautical Congress in Mexico, sometimes people wonder, why Mars? What about the other places in the solar system? Our opinion of becoming a multiplanetary species in our solar system is very limited. We have in terms of a nearby option, Venus, but Venus is a high-pressure hot acid bath, so that would be a tricky one. Then there's Mercury, but that is way too close to the sun. We could potentially go into one of the moons of Saturn or Jupiter, but those are quite far out, much further from the sun and so much harder to get to. Which only leaves us none other than Mars. And in fact, we now believe that Mars is a lot like Earth. Elon Musk sure knows how to drive a point home. But what is the real reason that humanity is so behind in terms of becoming a multi-planet species? We have some people on our moon for short periods of time, and others in low Earth orbit. But overall, we are monoplanetary. We spend our lives on Earth and die here too. If a global event involving catastrophic destruction were to occur, the entire human race would be wiped out, cease to exist. It's no question that whether in the near or distant future, that event is bound to occur, and when it does, the only chance us Earthlings have of survival would be a backup plan, a place that we could inhabit and thrive in. And the only way that this could happen is if humanity were to become a multi-planet species, and for now, that can only begin with Mars. So what do we really know about Musk's plans for a self-sustaining civilization in Mars? Number one, it has to do with terraformation, or transforming Mars so as to create an Earth-like habitat that resembles Earth as closely as possible in terms of its atmosphere, its surface, its temperature, and its geology. Musk explained that he could terraform Mars by exploding nuclear bombs over its polar caps. He said that the radiation would not be an issue since the explosion would be in space over the poles, but the heat released would vaporize the frozen carbon dioxide to the greenhouse, warm the planet, and then melt the water ice. Once terraformation is complete, Musk plans for SpaceX to then launch 3 Starship rockets a day, each carrying a 100-ton payload. A 1,000 Starship fleet would be capable of taking nearly 100,000 people to Mars every time their planetary orbits sync, which happens every 26 months. Musk also estimates that in order for us to become a multi-planet species, we would need 1 million people to actually live on Mars for the population to become sustainable and distinct from Earth. More specifically, that's the number of people that he estimates would be needed to recreate Earth's industries in order for it to become truly self-sustaining and independent. As a side note, brilliant physicist, the late Stephen Hawking, was also known to have said that we must become an interplanetary species within 100 years or we'll all die. It does sound quite like Musk's claims that becoming a multi-planet species is essential to our survival because if something goes wrong with planet Earth, he said, that's it, game over. Similar to how there was a mass extinction of the dinosaurs some 66 million years ago, the human race is a vulnerable target of a disaster, such as the devastation of climate change, a major asteroid impact, nuclear war, or even self-aware artificial intelligence, and we could ultimately be wiped out. As with any other personality, Musk has his share of supporters and haters alike. Either way, everyone seems to have an opinion of him and his grand plans. What do you think of Musk and his mission to Mars? Leave us a comment below to let us know. Also, don't forget to give us a like, a share, and to subscribe to the channel while you're at it. We'll see you back here in just a few.